Alright, so this tutorial is for VCP 225. Basically, this is putting all the rigging elements onto the skeleton of the character. Um, this will be kind of a long series because there's quite a bit to do in order to make this functional, right? So right now we have a skeleton, but there's no way to really interact with it other than directly, which is really not preferred. So I'm going to do only one side, and then basically all you're going to do is you're going to do the same thing on the other side. There is no way to just flip it. You're going to have to manually do it. Okay, so I'm going to do the leg first. We're going to do a reverse foot rig, which is a little bit nicer than this rig. So to do that, we are going to do this. What I want to do is have it so that the foot actually bends from down here. If you look right now, the way it's set up is that it bends from the top down. I want to go from the bottom up. Okay, so we need to set that up. So to do that, we are going to do this. I am going to try doing this instead. So I'm going to go to, I'm going to take this and go to channel box, and do I have him on a layer? I do. Okay, so he's already on a layer, so I'm just going to template that just so that I have it there. But I'm not that worried, and I'm going to go to polygons. I'm going to create a polygon surface, and I'm going to bring it over here. It's kind of a different way of working. This is actually how you could have set up the legs too, besides the way that we did. Let me just make sure, I'll make sure this is perfectly on a plane. So I'm gonna hold J and boom, 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 good. And then I'm just gonna try and make sure that this follows the same. I'm gonna go from the top view here. Is going in the same angle as the leg, which I'm gonna hit plus to make this a little bit longer. So I just want to make sure that it is the same. Okay, I'll hit minus. That changes this just the size of the manipulator. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is hit R, and I'm gonna scale it up like that. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, and this is why it's kind of weird, I'm also going to select, and I will leave it like that for now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go to rigging, and I'm gonna hit the joint tool, or we'll make sure we're in rigging up here, skeleton, create joints. All right. Oh, actually, before I do that, I'm gonna take this surface and I'm gonna make it live by clicking on it, and then you see this little thing up here, you click on that, and now this surface becomes live. And what that means is that everything you do, so for instance, if I do the joint tool, it will draw to that surface. Okay, that's why we built this, so that we can make sure that when I draw this joint chain that it does run across it. Okay, so so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click, I'm gonna kind of drag, and I'm gonna put it right where the heel is. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the end of the foot here. So I'm gonna click, and I'm gonna hold V to point snap. Let's see, it's not really point snapping. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna hold V to point snap. Boom. Okay, so I'm gonna click on it, because you click on it, it'll mess it up. So I drew next to it. Now I'm gonna hold V to point snap again, but see, I'm not on the, I'm just next to it. Boom. And then lastly, one more, I'm gonna hold V and go up to here. Okay, and enter. All right, so now I have a joint chain that goes this way, and we're just gonna do modify, search and replace names, and I'm gonna search for joint. I'm going to replace with reverse foot underscore JNT underscore 0. Okay, and replace, and that way I'll just replace them and call them that. Now I'm going to turn snapping off. I'm going to click on this, and that makes it so this is no longer, or live surface I should say, and I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. Okay, I just wanted that in order to get it like in the right plane. Now I need to do the same thing on the other side, right? Before I even do that, actually, I'm going to select it, and I'm going to hit components, and I'm going to hit the question mark, and that will give me my the local rotation axis, right? So I'm going to take that, I'll hold E, and I'm just going to make sure that Z is on the right side. So I'm going to hold J, and I'm going to go boom, 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 boom. Come on. Boom, like that. Good. And then I'll grab this one, and that one's already on that side. That one's also on that side, and then the last one actually doesn't really matter, but again, just because I like to make things correct, I'm going to take that like that so that it's good, and I'm going to make sure the X is going up the joint chain like so. Okay, now I'm going to click back on object select. Good. Okay, so now these are now oriented correctly. So it's hard because I have to do this twice. So one way to kind of cheat this, and this is kind of an interesting way of doing it, is I'm going to create a joint chain. I'm going to hold X for grid snap. I'm going to go boom, just draw one. Okay. I'm going to take this. I'm going to hold shift select that. I'm going to hit P. Now this is parented to that. Now what I can do is I can go to skeleton, mirror joints at the option box. And actually, before I even do that, you can see I didn't put an L in there. So I'm going to real quick add that, modify, search, replace names. So we're going to search for, let's say, underscore JNT. Right, so that's the underscore JNT part, and I'll do underscore L, underscore L underscore JNT, and that way it'll add that in there, and you'll see, replace, and now I just have the underscore L. Okay, now that I have that, I'm going to go Windows, skeleton, mirror joints, hit the option box, search for underscore L underscore, replace underscore R, and you'll see it'll mirror it to the other side, which is awesome. So I'm selecting both of these. I'm going to hit Shift P to unparent them, and I'm just going to get rid of this. I was only using this as an axis to flip the reverse foot joints, so it just makes it a little bit easier to work with. So even though I got to do everything twice, at least that will be one thing that'll make it a bit simpler to work with. Okay, so we got that going on. That's fine. So now I'm going to actually do one other thing here quick. I'm going to take this joint. I'm going to go like this. Okay, you just need to bend it in the right direction, and then I'm just going to go to skeleton, and I'm going to do set preferred angle. Boom. That's all I got to do. And then I'm just going to zero it back out. The reason why is that way, when I put the IK handle, it knows that the knee is meant to bend this way. Otherwise, it might bend backwards, which is not what you want, even though he is a bird guy. It's not really what I'm looking for. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to hold G, or tap G, because that was the same thing I did last time. So I'll just repeat that action. Good. All right, so we did that. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start actually building the legs. Okay, so each one of these pieces can kind of be built separately. It's just like a car where, like, you can replace an engine, you can replace a wheel, you can replace different aspects of it, even though it's all together one, object. So I'm going to skeleton and go to IK handle tools, or create IK handle tool, and hit the option box. It's going to show up over here. I want the rotate plane solver. Okay. You can go ahead and click on sticky, and the rest is fine. So I guess I'll do two at once so you get, oh no, I'm just going to do one, and just watch this video again and repeat to do the other one. Otherwise, it's going to make it too long. So I'm going to click here, boom, and then I'm going to click on here. All right, so you can see that this is actually going to be kind of in the way. So I'm going to take both of these, and I'm just going to put them on a layer just to get them up so they're not like in my way. So I'm just going to call this reverse foot joint. Eventually I'll remove this altogether, but I just to make things a little bit easier for me for now. So I'm just going to turn that off. That way I'm not competing with it. So again, rotate plane solver, start from the hip to the ankle to that. Okay, and I'll do the other one too. Hit Y. So here to here. All right, that looks good. Now what I want to do is I'm going to hit Y to bring the tool back up. And this time I don't want rotate plane solver. What I want is actually the single chain solver. All right. So go here to here, hit Y, there to there, Y, there to there, Y, there to there. Okay. Now normally I like rename all these things, but there's a lot of them, so I don't feel like going through the whole process. So we're not going to do that. All right. Now I'm going to turn my reverse foot joints back on. Okay. And this is how they're going to work. I want to take this IK handle, okay, and parent it to this joint of the reverse foot. That's the reverse foot joint going up. I'm not pairing it. So right now, if I grab this IK handle, just so you get an idea, if I grab this and I move it, that will bend the leg. Okay, you can kind of see how that works. All right. Now, what I don't want to do is I don't want to parent it to the same joint. It's not pairing it to the joint that it's controlling. I want to parent it to the reverse foot joint. Okay, so it's this one, not the other one. So if you have a hard time doing it, you can click on here, and I can clearly see how it's not purple. That means it's not that one. You can see up here it says reverse foot. If you have a hard time with that though, just go to Windows, Hypergraph Hierarchy, and the reverse foot joints will be right here, and you can just do it manually if that's easier for you. Okay, so it may or may not be, I don't know. So I would just select this, and then I would go to the last one, which is this one. Okay, and I'll hit P. All right. And then we would take this one. So you can see this is hard to get. See how like they're right on top of each other, so that might be a little more difficult. So this is going to go to the third one to here. So I'll hold the shift, click this, and God, it doesn't look like it's highlighted. Let me see. Oh, that's weird. Okay, it should be. see. Oh, see. Oh, should have been on this one. Sorry. Okay, that's why. So I'm going to grab this one, and then I could just shift select this one, or just click it over there, but it's the same thing. Hit P. All right. And then I can click on this one, and then I could shift click on this one, or I can do it over here. But I'm just going to click over here. I'm going to hit P. All right. Now, you would do the same thing on this side. So I know I said I would do one at a time, but that's weird. Okay. Let's just select that joint then. Come on. Give me my joint. There we go. All right. So do the same thing. So I'll just select the IK handle. I'm just going to hit Q so I don't have the manipulator. Select the thing. Make sure it's the right one. See, it's the reverse foot. And hit P. All right. This. Do the joint. P. And like I said, if you can't seem to grab it there, so I can kind of see it. It's right here. P. Don't worry about it. So basically what that allows us to do now is this. Is that I can rotate from my heel now. Okay. And I can also rotate from here, okay? And I can rotate, oops, the other way. I can rotate from the toe. So you basically have this nice reverse foot rig. It goes up the joint chain. That's the basic idea behind it. Okay. That all looks fine and dandy. So let's go ahead and just make some basic foot controllers here. So I'm just going to exit out of that for a second. I'm going to go to Create. Curve tools, and I'm sorry, we're gonna go NURBS primitives. I'm just gonna do a circle. Yeah, we'll just do a circle because that's pretty vanilla. So I'm just gonna scale it. I'm gonna bring it over. Okay, and I'm gonna hold V and on the middle click and drag just so that's the pivot. Scale this a little bit bigger, and I'm gonna go to control vertices, and I am going to select these and pull them up like this. Oops. Okay. Ugh, forgot Max kind of stick for whatever reason. Okay. And maybe I'll just scale it down a little bit. And then I'm going to grab these back ones. Okay. And scale these down a little bit. Bring them over here. Alright. So I'm just trying to make it. You just want to be able to select it relatively easily. That looks great. I'm just going to rename this. We're just going to call this foot _L controller _CRV for curve. Alright, so there's my foot controller, and that looks adequate. I'm going to go modify freeze transformations. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this, Command D, and I'm going to hold V. Put it, oops, V. Alright, that's, come on, there we go. And you can see I need to flip it, so I'm just going to flip it on, I'm going to hit R real quick, and it should be, see it says world, so I'm just make sure it's on object, but yep, so it's on X, so I'm going to do -1. There we go. Modify, freeze transformations, beauteous. Alright, so that's good, and we just need to change the name on this, so we're going to make this an R. Okay, beautiful. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this reverse foot, I'm going to parent it to there, this one, and parent it to there. And now when I move this controller, it'll move the foot. Okay, so that works pretty good. I'm going to take both of these, and just for the sake of ease, I'm going to Command G to make a group, and I'm just going to call this foot controller _GRP, just so that it's in a nice little group. Makes things a little bit cleaner. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I got to do some direct connections of this to these things so that they control them. Okay, so I'm going to select both of these, and we are going to go to Edit, Add Attribute. So you have to have both your curves selected. Edit, Add Attribute, and I am going to add some controllers here. So we're going to do toe roll. All right, and we'll leave these at 0, and I'll hit Add, and we'll do ball roll, and we will hit Add. Now there is a way to make this fancier, but for our intents and purposes, that'll be good. So all it did is it made these attributes, which they don't do anything right yet, but they're there. Okay. I'm also going to take and remove my scale and visibility. So I'm going to grab those, and I'm going to right click and go lock and hide selected. Now those are no longer there. All right. So basically these are the attributes that we want. I hit the ones I didn't want, and I added 2 more, but they're not doing anything yet. In the next video, we're going to hook these up.